So, today on the Pet Photographer's Journal, doing something a little different. This is my first case study podcast because I wanted to have Sharon on the podcast to talk about her experience of attending my marketing workshop, which is now called the Consistent Bookings Workshop, because I know Sharon got a lot of it. And I just wanted to actually ask her about her experience, what she found useful. And this is also a way of me getting feedback as well, so that I know what to improve in the next iterations and the next cohorts of the workshop. But let's start with the basics. I would love for you to introduce yourself, Sharon. Welcome. And tell us where you're located, what you specialize in, and how long have you been in business?
Thank you so much for having me. I live in Canada, Ontario. I specialize in pets and family. And I've been in the business about 4 years.
That's great. That's great. And yeah, it's so great having you on. I mean, we were just chatting before this, and I've been
Mhm.
chatting with you since you did the workshop back in September, I think it was. And it's so great to see that you're applying what you've learned, because that's what I love when, people actually go take away what they've learned and applied it. And it's so good that you're applying it and you're learning, and you keep sharing your wins as well. So
Mm.
I love that.
Well, you
Yeah.
do have to apply what you invest in, right? It's like
Yeah.
reading a book. If you don't apply what you read in a book, then you're not going to
Yeah.
improve yourself. Then there's no point in reading that book. And it's the
Yeah.
same thing when you take a course. You got to apply what you have learned, right? So in order for you to get it back.
Yeah, for sure. Before you signed up for the workshop, what made you sign up for the workshop, and what were you doing in terms of marketing before the workshop?
So I feel like my marketing before the workshop was scattered, was all over the place. I would go and post something on social media for the purpose of posting, not posting with a purpose. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, just had a photo shoot session with Fluffy. So, okay, Fluffy's cute, It was like, oh, maybe I should do a tulip mini session. Maybe I should do this. I didn't have it all planned out like you taught us.
Hmm.
Versus now, I even have my Christmas session date picked and it's booked and it's ready to go. The landing page is done. So I'll be launching everything as they come, right?
Yeah.
Only dates I don't have it picked yet is my tulip mini session. That's because I'm waiting on a farmer, but everything else is done.
Amazing. So you've already planned out your whole year.
My whole year is planned out. So I took December off from photography. I just did my pop-up mini sessions and I just sat down and I was just like, okay, let's plan everything out. So now I'm posting on social media with purpose. I know exactly what's coming up. I'm not going, what should I do? I know what I'm doing because
I
everything
love
is mapped out. Yeah.
That's amazing. Before you did the workshop, did you have some kind of system or anything like that to help you plan?
No, my system was the overwhelming system. It was driving me nuts. I was going to Pet Expo and all that kind of stuff, but having a solid system on my marketing, I didn't have that.
Amazing. It's so good that you actually implemented, you've mapped out your whole 2026. You know what you're doing and what's coming
Hmm.
up. And I think this year you're going to smash it. You're going to
Thank
do
you.
amazing.
You know what? I'm so excited for it because it doesn't feel overwhelming anymore. And I kind of look at my calendar now and I'm like, oh yeah, breed of the month. It's small pets is coming up or this is coming up. And now I know what to post on social media. How's that? Now it doesn't feel overwhelming. It's not like, oh my God. And now I know what to write for my mailing list people, right?
Yes.
I am a lot clearer now. I'm not going
That's
around in circles, right?
No, yeah. Well, that's the thing. A lot of people, that's what I hear. I was like, I feel overwhelmed. Even sometimes when I teach a course, like it does feel overwhelming. But when you take it away and then you start planning it out and actually mapping out your year, even start with the first quarter, which is what I'm focusing on right now, because some people go, oh, mapping out the whole year is too overwhelming. Well, let's start with the first 90 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what are we going to do the next 90 days? And the thing is, it's a plan. It's a system. You can always change it. If you
Yes.
decide not to do it, that's okay. I planned out my whole year, and there were a couple of projects that I didn't end up running because I had a couple of things that I wanted to run, and I didn't want to cannibalize, some of the projects. I didn't want to cannibalize each other. So
Mhm.
I made the intentional decision not to run it, but that wasn't intentional because I had it all planned out. So
Right.
yeah.
And it's a lot. Well, life happens, right? Um
Yes,
and if you're not outsourcing your work, you have a lot of work on your hands because it's just not running the marketing. It's going out there and photographing and doing the emails with the clients and all that kind of stuff. But if you have one thing that's less overwhelming, which is a big chunk of your business, is marketing.
yes.
Without marketing, you don't have a business. I I feel a lot better. So what you taught me, I did implement into my business and I am seeing results.
Amazing. I love that. That's awesome. Now, with a workshop, the way I structured it, I did 3 workshops because I knew that if I did it all in one, it would have been way, way, way too overwhelming and too much information.
Hmm.
Did that help, breaking it down into the 3 different workshops and starting with the ideal client avatar?
Did because at first I was like, why are we starting with the ideal client? But it makes sense because if you don't know who your ideal client is, how are you marketing? How are you building
Exactly.
your foundation, right?
Yeah,
Um, and having those tools from Chat GPT, it helped so much, you
I'm
know.
glad. Yeah,
It I just took you take a couple of hours and to build that avatar and I always go back to them and you can always tweak it too, right?
exactly,
Like
exactly.
it's not like, oh my God, this is it. No, you can go back and tweak it and be like, you know what? Maybe I'm starting to see this. Maybe I want that. And you
Yes.
can always tweak it. And
It's a
and that's
moving
what I love it.
Yeah, it's a moving process, right? Nothing is set in stone. You can
Mm-mm.
always change it. And some people go, "Oh, I know my ideal client." But I wanted to go through that first workshop because even though some people think they might know their ideal client, they've done the ideal client avatar work or ideal client profile work. I think there's a lot more that goes into it as well. Yes, the ideal client avatar, you know who they are, but then it's also about the messaging and how you actually communicate the value to them, how to tailor your messaging to talk to them rather than just talking to everyone. And then the
You know,
tools to build it up.
yeah, like I mentioned before, I feel like you're posting with a purpose now.
Mhm.
Instead of just saying, "Oh, I had a cute photo shoot session with Fluffy," you know? Now you're telling your audience that you're creating the artwork. They're purchasing the storybook, the photo album, you know? You're letting people know like for me, I'm not great at talking. So, that helps me a lot,
Yeah.
because I'll post, like, I'll write it down exactly how my session went and what they purchased and everything. And I'll say, create me a caption from that. And it helps me with time
Yeah, for sure.
because
For sure.
time is a big thing.
Yeah.
And it just helps me with moving forward with purpose.
I love that. I love that. Actually posting with purpose and moving forward with purpose. That is amazing. In terms of the AI tools, a lot of people, I know there's going to be a lot of pushbacks, and I've had actually some pushbacks at times like, "Oh, I don't want to use AI. It doesn't sound like me. It sounds like generic." What do you say with people who's a bit more hesitant in using the AI tools to help them speed up workflows in their business?
Listen, I'm not advocating for AI, but I think there's certain things I don't let AI build a whole caption for me
Yeah,
because there's certain things that I'm like, "Okay, I don't use this word. I don't use that word."
exactly.
So and I'm giving details. I'm giving details. I'm like, Jacqueline brought the urn of her past dog, and we finished the photo shoot session with bubbles. We did this. I'm putting details. So it's not like AI is making it up
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah.
AI is just writing it better for me because one, English is my second language. Sometimes when I'm too much in my head, nothing comes out. I I feel like it's just writing it better for me, and I'll say keep it in grade 10 level, write it this way. It just it helps me write a lot faster,
Yeah.
you
And that's the
know?
thing. I think using it as a tool rather than it's not replacing you. And that's like again, like I'm saying use
No.
AI to help you with your business, to speed up your business, especially if you don't have someone that you can outsource to delegate to.
Mhm.
You're doing everything. You need to also provide the best client experience. And social media, it's not the be all and end all, but it is important to be visible on there. So
Right.
use tools that can help you when it comes to writing, but always still refine it and put in your voice, put in your personality, put in the story. It's all about the
Absolutely.
storytelling. Yeah.
I just
And
actually took a course. It was like an hour presentation, I should
mm,
say, not a course. And it was a very well-known photographer. I'm not going to say their name, but they're using AI for prompts to create different backdrops.
oh, awesome.
And I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of food photographer and product photographer out there using ChatGPT for prompts for Photoshop to create
Yeah.
backdrops. It is impossible to have 20 different backdrops. One, they get really expensive, and second, where do you storage all that?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes. I know.
and so it was. And she did get a lot of pushback on her presentation. And I totally understand that because people think that AI is here to steal our work. But I also think that AI is not going anywhere. So I'm just going to embrace it. And
Exactly.
I'm not saying I use AI for everything, but I do use AI for my captions on social media. It does go a lot faster. It flows a lot better, saves me more time. I don't see the harm in it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think as long as you still have your voice, you put a lot of context and input onto it.
Mhm.
I mean, for imaging, for photo, like for my photos, I don't even use much generative AI feel in Photoshop. I do a lot more of the masking manual. I take a clean slate of the background if I have to remove the person entirely. So
Mhm.
even that, I still do a lot of the manual work rather than using the generative AI. But I know that there's some people have created some amazing backdrops for their
Yeah.
photos. As you've said, yeah, like I didn't even think that was a way to use AI to generate
Mhm.
backdrops for your photos. And that's fine. Also, I've had people come in, my clients. This is one of the things that I've had to also change my mindset because I use AI to help me in speed up my workflow in terms of writing, working out, setting up tech stuff. Like, how do I set this up if I come, into some kind of issues or I need to troubleshoot? I was like, help me step by step in how I can solve this error message or
Yeah.
this problem, or how do I set up this workflow in my CRM? So I use that to help me because rather than me trying to figure it out myself and do some Google search and watch all these videos and work out how to do it,
Mhm.
it's going to help me speed it up. And then that way I can focus on delivering the best client experience. But one of the other things that have had come up is I've had a client said, I wish I had professional photos of my last dog. She did the photo with her current dog. And
Mhm.
she's like, I wish I had professional photos of my last dog. And I was like, I've seen some photographers run workshop using AI to train it from the phone photos of their clients and create a photo that is like their style.
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh, maybe I should do that." And so, I mean, it wasn't perfect. I didn't charge for it or anything like that. I just wanted to
Mhm.
try and recreate something so I can print something because the photos that she got was not great quality.
Mhm.
There was a lot of crappy phone photos, really. But I got 30 or 40 of those, used the program to train it, and I created a photo and I printed it in an album for her. And she was just like, well, actually, she purchased the album, but yeah, she was in tears because she goes, that's that's my dog.
Right.
And you create some beautiful photos from that, even though it's not, I didn't take the photos, but that still didn't replace my service. She still paid to take professional photos of her dog. It could be like an additional service that I could add in the future. I haven't even thought about it.
Right.
Again, this was just a test with a client
Right.
because she was just really, yeah.
I don't use AI to remove leashes or humans or
Mm.
anything like that. I go I like editing, so I go in and I'll do it all myself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But I don't like, and also for competitions, you can't use AI.
yeah, you can't. No, no.
So if I do want to enter a photo, I don't use AI, right?
Because I always forget which one's like, oh, if I use it, I was like, oh, which one can I enter? Well, I have to re-edit it again, right?
Right.
So
Right.
might as well edit without AI from the start.
Exactly. So all I'm really using AI for is to create the captions, and it actually gives me ideas. Sometimes I'll be like, can you give me ideas for marketing? Can you
Mm-hmm.
think outside the box? And I use like one of the tools you've given us, and
Yes, yeah,
um
yeah.
and it
Because I gave you a tool to beta test to brainstorm campaign
mhm,
ideas. How did you
yeah.
find that?
Oh my god, it's amazing. So what I love about it, for instance, I wanted to create the cozy memory session, which I created only for the winter time, right? It's half an hour. You get to choose in my in-home studio or outdoor. So when I ran the campaign there, it gave me a landing page. It gave me reels, carousels, and the single post for social media. It gave me the email, what I should be writing to my email list. It saved me so much time.
That's
Obviously, you
cool.
go and you tweak, right?
Yeah,
You tweak, as you said, you put your own voice to it. But if I have tools that is going to speed up my work and I'm going to be able to spend more time with my family, why am I not doing it?
exactly. Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that. That's awesome. And so, yeah, the marketing concept that you came on, that's part of the workshop is coming up with different marketing campaigns. And I talk about you need to get consistent booking by doing some active marketing, not just relying on people to find you on social media or your website. Because if you're doing that, that's passive marketing, right? You're just
right.
waiting until someone finds you. So you've basically already implemented that. You've taken what you've learned and implemented it. Did you get any bookings out of those sessions that you
I did. Well, I got 3 sessions coming up this month, February. My spring is fully booked. That was fully
what?
booked. Yeah, and this is the first time that this is happening in my business, that I'm fully booked for spring. I am getting inquiries about springtime, and I'm a little nervous. I was looking at my calendar the other day. I was talking to a client and I was like, no, no.
Yeah,
There are some days as well that I do want to book a weekend or so for myself and my dogs, right? It's the first time, and I'm so grateful. I am so
it's
grateful.
amazing.
It was one of the best investments I ever did, was to take a course, implement it, because I'm seeing results and I'm seeing the booking, right? The
Yeah, for
bookings are
sure.
coming in. So, and for this month, I do have 3 sessions coming up for a cozy memory session that I created when I was doing the workshop with you.
I love it.
And I don't want more than 3, really.
Yeah, and exactly. And that's the thing. We work on what is the goal, right? If some people
Right.
want 3 sessions a month, that's great. This is what we work towards. If you want more than that, then
Then
we
you
tailor
do
the
more.
plan.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And not many people can do more than that. I mean, I'm probably a bit insane. I did 100 over 100 sessions last year. So
That's insane.
yeah, I'm still doing some months I had 8 to 16 sessions a month, depending on. But that's because I've also then my workflow. I've really systemize a lot of the process and workflow so
Mhm.
that there isn't as much work in terms of
Mhm.
what I do. I've also got 2 VAs who help me out with a
Yes.
lot of things, so that takes a lot of things on my plate, and I focus more on the client experience and actually delivering the client experience, which is really
Mhm.
the main thing, right? It's that in-person consult that I do, the in-person ordering appointment, the session itself, the planning call as well. I do another call after the consult. So there's a lot more, I guess, touch points. It is a lot of effort, but you need to put in effort. There's sometimes people might say, like, I don't want to hustle. Sometimes there is a need to hustle at the start and then it becomes easier. Once you've done it and you put in place
Mhm.
systems, processes, like I'm not hustling. I mean, it might seem like I'm working all the time, but some of the stuff, I mean, some of the stuff that I do love doing anyway, because it
Mhm.
doesn't feel like work to me. But a lot of the time, I am actually spending time with my dogs. I mean,
Mhm.
yesterday I spent the whole day just chilling with my dogs on the couch and watching some Netflix and just
It's
relaxing.
refreshing.
It is. It's nice. I don't have,
Yeah.
family. My dogs are my family. So
Right.
that my time spent with them, because if I'm on the computer, I can't pat them. And one of my dogs, well, 2 of my dogs are very needy. Once I start patting, I always have to pat them. So
Right.
yeah, that yeah,
I
us
sure
dog
do.
people, right? Our dogs are needy, and so I'm always just patting them all
Yeah.
the time and giving them attention. And the only way they're like, "You have to sit on the couch for us to sit on you so you can
Mhm.
pat us all the time." So that's
Mhm.
what I did most of the day yesterday, and walked them, spent time outdoors with them. And it might seem like I'm working all the time, but some of those I've got some systems and processes I'm automated, and also delegation and outsourcing. But
Mhm.
it didn't come right away, it built over time, and I'm still working. What I'm teaching is really what I'm learning, right, as I go. So I'm
Mhm.
still in the trenches like you. I'm still
Right.
trying to get things, trying to book clients. I have clients coming in, and then
Mhm.
I apply what I learn, and because 'cause I'm doing experimenting and testing things, and then that's what I teach.
Well, but that's marketing too. You have to test what works. What works for a photographer, next region may not work for your region,
Exactly.
right? So you have to test it and then you keep a spreadsheet. This worked. This,
Yeah.
it did. I don't like to use the word failed
No.
because it's not failing. You
No,
tried
it's
and it
just
didn't
data.
work. So you can just move on. Exactly. It's data.
Exactly. It's just data. Yeah.
And if you didn't try, you don't know, right?
That's what you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. Like I started doing pop-up sessions at pet stores,
Mhm.
right? Where I donate 100% of the funds to to a rescue. And I always pick, the Rescue Savers Graph or any other rescues out there. So I didn't know if this was going to work or not, but it's starting to bring me leads. Because I think people, when they love the fact that I'm donating, it's going for a good cause. And then they kind of go, well, she was nice and let's just book a session and see what happens. I started getting my mini sessions booked through that or from my mailing list.
That's
So
good.
by the time I posted on social media my mini sessions, it's either I have like 1 or 2 spots left or I don't really post it because it's already booked.
Amazing. That's
Hmm.
awesome. Did you have an email list before the workshop, or did you email your email list before the workshop?
I did have an emailing list before the workshop. Believe it or not, I don't have a lot of people on my mailing list, but I
That's great. And doesn't
still
matter. It's
book.
still booking. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
either
awesome.
I have one client, God bless her, that she either purchased the mini session or she'll purchase to gift her friend.
That's so good.
I have the repeated clients that do that. I personally I love it. Now I kind of switched my email a little bit. I don't do much salesy per se.
Mhm.
I get Cisco and Tito like in their voice. Like again, I put it in Chat GPT and I described my dogs. They're 2 different personalities.
I love that.
So now Cisco writes the email, right?
That's
So
so cool.
this month coming up, he did enter his senior years in December. So he's explaining in the email, ever since I entered my senior years, mom has a camera on her hand all the time. I just have to like exist and there is a camera, like something like that. It was written. It was kind of funny. And I said, you know what? I'm going to keep it. And I always get as well on my mailing, have client, like I'll ask questions to
Yeah.
my clients, like, what are you doing? I don't know. What are you doing this year to create memories with your pets? Like, do you have anything in a bucket list? Just reply.
Yeah.
So we'll engage that way as well.
Yeah.
So that has been working out for me.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. And I love it. You're one of my star students because you actually put in what you learned in the workshop and implemented it. Like,
Thank
it's
you.
just so good to see. And I love hearing from you and I love following your progress because I can see that you're just smashing it. I love it.
Thank you. I love pet photography so much. I love family photography as well, right? I do both. I think they go hand to hand, right?
Hmm.
But I just like anything photography for me is like, my God, this is so exciting. So instead of going, okay, marketing is really overwhelming, which it is, don't get me wrong. But I
Yeah.
kind of turned the feeling into this can be also exciting. I
Yeah.
can I can make this fun, right? So showing up to pop-up events to rescue. I love doing that because I know I'm giving back, right? Even if I
Yeah.
raise that day like $500, let's say, it's saving a pet's life somewhere, right?
Exactly.
And that's one of the reasons why I got into the business. And you can't forget your why. And then, making my mailing list fun. I switched it this year. So it's like I'm putting, as I said, I'm putting Cisco and Tito's voice, but I'm also highlighting a small business, a small pet business, I should say, every month, right?
That's
So
amazing.
it's fine. And I see that people actually linking, like going and checking out the small business, which it makes me feel good. I'm helping out a small business. I hope they get a sale, you know? Um,
Yeah, exactly.
and then very seldom I'll be like, book, but it doesn't sound salesy. It's just fine. And it's and as I said prior to your story, I'm going to tantrum, like just going off.
No, it's totally,
You
it's
know,
totally,
because I love pet photography so much.
yeah,
You know, I just loved implementing everything that you taught us.
that's
And
so
I
good.
instead of going, oh, this is overwhelming, I just went, you know what? This has to be exciting. It will be exciting, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. Which resources from the workshop do you find yourself coming back to the most often?
The campaign wizard.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I do listen to the videos that we watched.
Yeah,
It's just because sometimes you pick something new. You're like, oh yeah, this. It's a
yeah,
refreshing to your memory as well. I keep going back to that list of the marketing that you gave us, the idea
yeah,
for marketing. I was actually just looking at that last week and I said, again, going back and tweaking things and changing things, I kind of said, did I implement this to my ear? I don't know.
yeah,
So I went, I looked over, I used a Trello to map everything. And I
yeah,
said, okay, where can this fit in? So I'm going to add I think I want to hit up schools and do like graduation day for
that's awesome.
and see how that goes. Because again,
Yeah,
you have to try it out, right?
exactly. Test that experiment and then make sure you track. And I think that's one of the things I really encourage is track your results because you don't know unless you're tracking it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. What What did you think was different with this workshop compared to other courses or workshops or programs that you've done?
I absolutely loved how you actually talked about marketing. There
In what
was
way?
no, well, I find that you really said, okay, guys, this is what I do because you walk the talk, right? And I
Yeah.
think that's one of the things that's different. And you gave us so much education and you're there for us when we need you or we have a question.
Mhm.
And I also feel that the marketing was very clear. Does that make sense?
Yeah, in
I
terms of what marketing is and what to do rather than
exactly. I
some people go, "Oh,
what
this is marketing." It's like, what do you mean by that?
exactly. And what got me interested in signing up with you was that I saw a presentation that you did on ClickUp. And I was like, she has everything mapped out. She knows exactly what's going on every month. How do you
Mhm.
do that? And it may be so easy for some photographers, good for you, but for me, it wasn't. So for me, that's one of the interests that I got from
Mhm.
signing up. And I thought learning that, because that's exactly what you taught us, how you map out your whole year. I thought that was so clever and so smart that that was my big takeaway. Cause now I'm not overwhelmed and being like, oh, summer's coming. What should I do? Beach mini session?
Mm.
So now summer's coming. I'm not really worried about it anymore. But that's one of the things that my big takeaway and what's different from other classes out there is that you really show what marketing is,
Love that.
you know? And for me, that helped a lot.
That's so good. I'm so glad to hear that because I think for me, the reason I created this course or this workshop was from hearing from a lot of photographers. I don't know what to do with marketing. I don't know what marketing is. It's all
Mhm.
overwhelming. I don't know where to start. People go, I am marketing. I'm posting on social media. Well, that's only a small part of marketing. It's
That
not,
is, it's not,
yeah,
it's passive marketing, right?
it's
Social media
passive
is
marketing.
passive marketing.
Yeah,
You need
exactly.
both.
Yes.
You know what I think it is as well? And my background is film work. That's all I know how to do. But when you start photography because you're an artist,
Exactly.
right? And most artists do not know how to run a business. Most artists do not know what marketing is. And trust me, one of them, you know, but we focus so much on the editing aspect. But there's so much to learn. So if there's somebody like you that can actually just be like, okay, this is what you do for marketing. It's one less load, right?
Yeah.
Because you have your website. How do you build a website? What is SEO? You know, what do you mean I have to blog if I want to be a photographer? So there's so much to do and to learn that if you have a solid foundation like yours, it does help a photographer a lot more.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
becomes less overwhelming and it becomes
Exactly.
fun,
Yeah.
right?
Well, that's the thing, right? For me, I love marketing. I think it's fun. But, I'm the opposite. I mean, yes, I started my business because of my dog and I did photography as a hobby.
Hmm.
But my background as a business analyst and in finance and accounting really helped me with the business side of things.
Right.
And I love it. Like for me, marketing is fun, which is probably
Right.
yeah, the business stuff is fun, which is different to a lot of photographers. But I come from going marketing and business, it's all about problem solving and it's working out how to solve that problem, how to attract people and
Hmm.
find out how we can solve that. And yeah, and that's what I love. And for me, like all of my business, I've learned from others as well. So I'm not saying that I came up with this. I've learned from others, but I've been able to find my own way of doing it, actually implementing it. And I just want to share as much knowledge as I can
Mm-hmm.
to then help others like you and other people who have done the workshop to actually make it easier and less overwhelming to implement it in your business.
Well, you have done that. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, it's a very, and you made it fun too. And I loved that. And you're so easy to talk to, so approachable that you just made it so much easier. So very grateful that I found you.
That's so good. I would love for you to say if someone is struggling with marketing and they're like, I'm not getting money, I'm not getting bookings, I need the money to get bookings, I can't afford another course, but I really need to get my marketing sorted, what would you tell them?
I've been there, done that, but you have to take a leap on yourself. Like you
Hmm.
have to bet on yourself that you're going to get your bookings. And to be honest, like you have to in your business, you have to invest, right? You have to
Yes.
invest. I would say take a leap of faith, invest in the business, but if you don't implement it, then it's not going to work. You have
Yeah,
to do the work, right? You
exactly.
can't just take the course, put it aside, and go, hey, this is not working. It's not working because you're not doing the work now, right? You have to create the time in order to work.
Yeah.
So I would say take a leap of faith, invest in yourself, but also do the work after you take the course.
Yeah. And you still work another job, right? This is not your full-time
Yes.
job, right?
It's not.
So
No, I do stunts for film and TV, and I've been doing that for 20 years.
it's
So,
insane. When you told me that, I was like, "You do what? You do stunts?" And some of the movies or films that you told me, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've watched that." I need to look back whether you're in it.
so, and listen, sometimes I'm gone for 15 hours, right?
Yeah.
If last year, I think I want to say that it was right after our workshop.
Mhm.
I got on a show where I was actually stunt coordinating. I was driving up to Sudbury, which is about 4 to 5 hours,
Wow.
and I was staying there and then coming back. But I had everything kind of mapped out, so I would get to my hotel room and I would be like, okay, let me just get something to eat, and then do write a blog. Right. I would go to work, come back, and work on my social media or whatever it was that I had scheduled to work. So I did do the work, you know. If I had
Yeah.
a driver, it would have been a lot more work getting done, but that's not the case. So I don't mind getting up earlier in the morning to schedule both of my
Yeah.
jobs,
And
right?
I think that's the thing. You don't have to do this full time because I know you you love your job. I mean, although it sounds like it's scary. It's what you've
I,
been through in the last couple of months with the concussion and
mm-hmm.
everything, but
Yeah.
I don't know how you do stunts. That just amazes me. And then how you do stunts one day and then photograph pets the next day. Like it's mind blowing.
I feel like I have the best of both worlds,
Yeah.
right? I was just in a podcast last week actually and talking. They asked me what is the difference between stunts and photography. And one is gnarly and one is so loving because you get all the kisses, I feel like I
Yeah.
got best of both worlds and both are
Yeah.
a storytelling. And
Yeah.
that's
For
what I
sure.
love to do. I love to tell a story. Either I'm being
Yeah.
a vampire on Monday and Tuesday laying on the floor to photograph a pet. I love doing that. Yeah.
That is amazing. Oh, thank you so much for sharing your experience with the workshop. And I just love it. I love seeing your progress. I love hearing from you
Thank you.
and seeing what you're doing. If you could describe this workshop in one sentence, and for people especially who are on the fence and not sure because they've already done other courses and
Hmm.
they think it's just another course, what would you say?
Well, I would say it's just not another course because you focus more on the business side of things and you give us so much ideas for marketing. And if somebody is like, for instance, the other day I was stuck on one of my campaigns that I'm doing. And I jumped on a call with you and you said, oh no, you can do this, and that. So you're so helpful. You're so generous. and you're so clever. You're so smart.
Thank
Um,
you. Oh, you're too
so
kind.
I felt like I was learning from the best. And again, you walk the talk. So you're still photographing pets and you're still implementing all this marketing that you're teaching us. And obviously, it's a proof that works because you're a successful pet photographer. So it works. And you're telling us what works, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And I share, and I will share what didn't work well and what worked well,
mhm,
because you can learn from my mistakes. I can be the guinea pig, and you can learn from my mistakes, and but then it might work for
absolutely.
you. The market's different, right? And I can say maybe something that didn't work for me might work better for you, and something that worked well for me might not work better for you. But it's all about willing to experiment and willing to test and willing to fail, but not associate failing with failing, right?
No.
It's that for me, again, it's all mindset and it's all learning in progress. I still have to tell myself going, you didn't fail. This is data. This is great. For example, for me doing this coaching, it's another thing that I'm learning. And when I launch a workshop and maybe not enough people signed up or not as
Hmm.
many people signed up, I could say to myself, oh, you failed. You suck. You didn't do a good job at
Right.
communicating that. But I could go, well, maybe it's just not the right time. It's just data. I still had people sign up,
Yeah.
and I could then ask for feedback and see what was it that held people back, and just use it as data and don't make up a story on it. Because the thing is, your brain's going to try and convince you that
Right.
it's all that, but it's not. Like,
You
what is
know,
the reality?
one thing have learned from actually stunts is that you get more no's than a yes.
Mm,
Right. It took me forever to break into the stunt industry to be working full time, right?
yeah.
And it's okay to get a no. You just got to move on.
Yeah.
I don't do
Exactly.
well on things before I was like, oh no, the coordinator didn't hire me and this, but I
Yeah.
so wanted to work on the show. Now I'm just like, okay, well, next. What's like, what
Yeah.
can I do next?
What's next?
Right?
Exactly.
But I implement that into my photography. Okay, well, so and so said no to me. Okay, great. That's a no. Let me find the yes. I
Yeah.
rather
Exactly.
focus on the yeses than on the no, right?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna
Yeah.
get a no regardless. We get no's every day in life,
Mhm.
right? So
Yes.
you
Yeah,
just
for sure.
gotta you just gotta be okay with the no and move on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, and don't dwell on it, you're right. I love that. Well,
No.
it's been amazing chatting to you. Where can listeners follow you along on your journey and your business?
You can go to S Canovas Photography, Canovas. That's my last name. That's a Instagram handle, and my Facebook is Canovas Photography. Or you can
Awesome.
just go to my website and email me, and I'll email you back.
Amazing. I'll put all the links in the show notes, and
Thank
it
you.
has been a pleasure chatting to you, and I love seeing that you're fully booked for spring, which is awesome because that's like what,
I'm
March,
so
April, May.
excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to see your progress and how this
Thank
year
you.
goes for you. And I'm rooting for you, and you're amazing. So thank you for coming on, and I will chat to you soon.
Thanks for having me.